Welcome everyone back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics, music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. If you missed any of the videos that we posted today, we had another Erika Girardi story, including a Britney Spears story, a conservative story. It was a lot. And we had some Safari and Erica Mena news that I thought was necessary to report on. So if you missed any of those videos or the breaking news that we had last night in regards to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, check out the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. I went live at midnight to cover that story. Well, 11 p.m. right after I was alive shortly before. If you missed that tea, there's a lot of casting news coming out. Go check that out after this live. We're going to be recapping Family Karma and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Not a lot to say about Family Karma, but you know I love this show. It's still consistent. It's still funny. It still has... I didn't expect to cry this episode. Why was I crying? Oh, Lord. Amrit is just giving it to me this season. Okay. But before we get into that, let me give people an opportunity to get into the chat. Shout out to all of the new Team Kempire members, the people that are joining the Royal Court. We have now added the YouTube membership to our channel here on Kempire Daily. Please feel free to join. If you don't join, that's fine as well. You're still getting daily and consistent content, but there are some amazing perks, including some loyalty badges for my members. I hope you guys noticed that the badges have been updated since yesterday. A little bit bigger, a little bit clearer. And as you upgrade, your crown changes colors. Yes, you have a permanent crown as a member. And of course, some really cool emojis. I'm going to be working on the emojis. Bear with me, guys. I'm handling hot topics, production, editing, getting the stories, presenting the stories, and creating all these other things, and including working on some other projects. Lord. But I love doing it. I love doing this content for you guys. I couldn't believe I was just inspired last night to go live and talk about that Atlanta story. Normally, I would probably just wait till the next day, but it was breaking news. And as I said before, if you don't hit that notification bell, you're missing out on breaking news. Sometimes it comes out at 11 p.m. Eastern. Come on, y'all. Exactly, Mystery. Yes, exactly. All right. So those are some of the emojis. Some that say Team Kempire, some that say just saying. Someone gave me another one because I say this all the time. Let me take a sip. I mean, look, we're working on it. We're working on it. Yes, Nicole. Oh my God. Atlanta, we need a shakeup, but yeesh. If you're missing out on that story, again, be sure to check out that story on here, I can't even speak. What's going on? On here, the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Shout out to all of the new members. New members, just in case you missed it, go to the community tab of the Kempire Daily YouTube channel and check out some of the exclusivity that I've given you. Things that weren't even listed in the perks. I'm going to be surprising our Team Kempire and our Royal Court members. You will be getting some things that you don't expect. That wasn't necessarily listed in the perks. And of course, we will be doing live chats as well. But let me get to it. I just wanted to give people an opportunity to get into the room. We have over 100 and something people watching. Let's get to 100 likes. I will be dropping the call in link or the StreamYard link for you guys to call in and share your thoughts on Family Karma and on, of course, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And if you're a part of our Royal Court, you already have that link. Just saying. Okay, let's get into this. Family Karma, goodness. You know, every week I say we need more and more Bali. I love Bali. Bali is not necessarily an auntie, but she's been the thing. And I have to say, and it's important because I know a lot of people are just probably getting into Family Karma now. I know Janice, have you been watching Family Karma? Shout out to Janice, one of our mods. If you're just getting into it, these people really know each other. These people really have friendships, bonds, to the point where they throw up pictures of when they were hanging out as kids. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. So, you know, Family Karma, they're celebrating my favorite holiday, Christmas, and they're Hindi, so they don't really necessarily celebrate Christmas or believe in Christmas, but they celebrate because they're here in the States. They're in Miami. I didn't know Miami, you could get an actual Christmas tree. I didn't know that. Go figure. Even though it's hot, y'all got a Christmas tree. I love it. And I love the decorations. They do such a really great job. I love that. I love that they were getting into the Christmas spirit. Brian still has not told Monica that he has been laid off. A lot of people were laid off during the pandemic. I know quite a few people that were laid off during the pandemic. You know, he was already worried that the parents wouldn't accept him because he wasn't a doctor, but now he's laid off. And so that's still a big issue. He expresses his concerns to his father. Brian. I like Monica, but then I saw the scene from last week and I completely missed this part where she was talking about financial, I can't remember the exact term she used, financial compatibility or financial something. And I was like, that was kind of direct. It's like, okay, but he hasn't told her that he's lost his job. Lord, I'm sure at this point, even though he's lost his job, you got to think he's on this reality show on Bravo. You know, Bravo pays their people pretty decently. He's making some money. It's not like he's completely broke, but he does live at home. But that's normal in their culture. That's normal in their culture. So, you know, Brian was the lesser of the stories. Look, Brian doesn't have a big storyline, but Brian is a part of this friend group. And I love their interaction. So even if they don't necessarily have this big dramatic storyline, it's still enjoyable to see Brian. I'm glad he got over Monica 1.0 and now has moved on to Dr. Monica. That's all I'm happy about. But speaking of relationships, we'll get to Amrit in just a second. And this just reminded me, I want to let you guys know, if you're not part of the Texan community, so even if you're not joining our membership, the Texan community gets tea too. They get exclusive stuff too. Right, Texan community? If you're part of our Texan community, you can join at this number or TheKempire.com. If you'd like to become a member of the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, head on over to TheKempire.com, and you can join there for exclusive perks that are there, including some really great loyalty badges here on the channel. But back to this. We'll get into Amrit in just a second. Risha and Vishal. We will explore their relationship in future episodes, but he's thinking about proposing again. Part of me I just had this thought. Is Vishal doing this for a storyline? Because if it's not for a storyline, Vishal, just let Risha go. I know it's been years of being together, but it just seems like it's not going to work. And I really like Vishal. I like Vishal more than I like Risha. But Rishi and Monica's parents, as we've seen this season, that they don't get along. They haven't even spent time together in like 15 years as a family. And Monica wants that to change because she loves what she sees with Rishi's family. Rishi's family is really well connected, I guess. I mean, and also, hold on, y'all. Just turn this off 1 second, y'all. I hate when my watch goes off while I'm doing this. It's so distracting to me. But anyways, Rishi, he owns a restaurant or manages a restaurant. I can't remember. He owns a restaurant, right? And he's cute. Look, and he's cute. They're a cute couple, actually. I can't wait I actually hope they do get married and have children. That is my hope. I don't know about anyone else. My hope is that they do get married and have children. Oh my gosh. But okay, can we just talk about the mom feeding the birds? Look, when she was talking about the symbolism in Hindi for feeding animals, I was like, oh, I feed my birds. I became a bird person during the pandemic. Yep, I did. I feed my birds all the time. But those birds, you saw that particular scene when that particular bird, I don't know what kind of bird that was. It definitely wasn't a pigeon. It was like coming closer. I was literally worried for her. I was just like, what's happening here? What's happening here? And then the bird pooping in her lap. I was like, I'm all for feeding the birds, but I don't need the birds flying around me or big birds like that particular one that she has there. But Monica would like for her family to be a family. Monica, if you're not familiar with Monica's character on the show, she seems very traditional. She would like to have a traditional family, not just for herself, but also her own parents. And you know what? She's not getting that. And I kind of hope that for her. But at the end of the day, I think that would be her life, not necessarily the life that she comes from. Okay? All right. Let me see. Not a lot went on with Risha and in Monica in this, Rishi and Monica in this episode. I was just looking at Rishi like, he's so cute for a dollar store Drake. He's always going to be called dollar store Drake to me. I'm sorry. He will always be dollar store Drake, but he clearly is not a dollar store Drake. I mean, if you went by net worth, probably, but come on. All right. Okay. This part, if you're just joining us, hi. We're recapping Family Karma and The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We will be dropping the call-in link at 100 likes. At 100 likes, I'll drop the call-in link. If you joined our membership program, you already received the StreamYard link in our community tab. Shout out to our Royal Court members. You got that exclusive earlier today. Okay. Nicholas, Amrit's boyfriend, meets with Amrit's mother. And I have to say, I love their relationship. It's a sweet relationship. At first, I was like, I didn't really have any feelings towards Nicholas. But the more that we're getting to know Nicholas, I'm like, oh, Nicholas is such a sweetheart. He really is a sweetheart. So he goes over to her house, and she's nervous because she's like, why does he want to see me? Like, what is going on? Because I guess it's not something they do all the time. And she's nervous about spilling the beans about them getting engaged. So they meet and, they're talking about his family. We're getting to know a little bit more about Nicholas and the way he grew up. One of the most beautiful things that Amrit's mother said to him is that maybe if you opened up to your mother, that will open her up a little bit more to you. And she said there's something in Hindi where, God takes one step. No, you take one step and God takes 10. Oh, look at me remembering that. I didn't even write that down, y'all. But when she said that, I thought that was so amazing and so wise and so beautiful, because even he was touched by it. Because when I heard, I was like, I was shaving my head at the time. And I had to step out the bathroom like, oh my gosh, that was beautiful. It was beautiful. I thought it was such a very sweet, sweet, sweet moment. In regards to them getting engaged, he was asking Amrit's mom, what can he do to motivate Amrit to just to motivate him? He didn't really even say to get engaged, because he says that he was ready a long time ago to get engaged, but Amrit's been hemming and hawing to get engaged. And I thought that was interesting, because he said he would have proposed to Amrit a long time ago. I wonder what sign Amrit is. Can someone find out what sign Amrit is? Because he sounds like me. Not that I would hem and haw about getting married, but I'm also not, I don't push things. I don't rush to make decisions. I don't rush to, jump the gun. Like if I was dating someone, I probably would date someone a couple of years before I got married. So that person would have to be like, you want to get married? That's just me. I'm a Taurus. I'm a bull. I'm sharing way too much. Okay. Anisha's date. Speaking of cute. We'll get back to Amrit and Nicholas in a second. Speaking of cute, Anisha, who I love. Anisha is first of all, she's beautiful, but the thing, look, you can have beauty. Beauty fades, okay? Beauty fades. As Ray said from Potomac to Giselle, beauty will fade, but humor and personality goes a long way, and Anisha has so much personality. And this episode, we get to see Anisha go out on a date. I wrote his name down, didn't I? Krish. I think his name is Krish. He was cute and he was tall. I said, you better lock that down, Anisha. But Anisha's like, the pandemic is almost over. The things are opening up. I'm going to go out and date. I don't hate on that, Anisha. But girl, you might want to lock that one down. Even though, you know what? I enjoyed the guy that she went on the FaceTime dates with more. His personality seemed to match hers better. However, he lives in another state. And I don't know if she's open to having that sort of a relationship. I would, especially if I felt a connection. But Krish could get it. I don't think he wants it from me. But he could get it. If you're out there and you're watching Krish, he had some beautiful eyes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so fast forward. If you're just joining us, we are talking Family Karma. We're going to jump into The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in just a second. Family Karma is one of my favorite shows right now. It's one of my favorite shows. We're still not getting enough of Bali, but we get to see Bali. We get to see Bali in every episode. This episode, Bali is planning the engagement on the boat. It was early in the morning that they're getting engaged. And, they're hanging out, having a good time. Vishal is more nervous than Amrit. And I love Vishal and Amrit's relationship as best friends. I love their relationship because they really are best friends. They really ride and die for each other. Speaking of, they started a business together and we get to see Vishal in underwear. Vishal, you have no ass. I'm just saying you don't. They started an underwear line together. There's so many gay guys that I know that started underwear lines. Should I start an underwear line? I love underwear. Again, I'm sharing way too much. I'm just saying. So I was like, oh, maybe this is something I would buy. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, Vishal wasn't the best model. Amrit, you guys might need to get another spokesperson. Vishal has a great body, but when we talk about underwear, you got to fill out the back and the front. Look. Just saying. Yes, like he says, the underwear scene was hilarious. They're funny. It's a lighthearted, really fun show. I really, really, really do enjoy Family Karma. I really do. But back to Amrit proposing to Nicholas. They go out on this boat. They're with Risha, Vishal. Vishal's very nervous for Amrit. I can't have that as my friend. If I'm nervous, I don't need you to be nervous. I need you to be a calming force for me. Actually, no, that works for me because I'm a Taurus. I'm very grounding. So if someone else is more nervous than I am, that actually makes me feel better. You guys are getting to know me. You're getting to know me. Just saying. Exactly as Senya said. Just saying. It doesn't come up on StreamYard, but look, if you're on YouTube, you can see the exclusive emojis that the Royal Court gets to post. Royal Court and Team Kempire gets to post there as well. So I thought this was really sweet. I didn't expect to cry. I honestly didn't expect to cry. But you know what made me cry was that Nicholas has been wanting this for a very long time. Amrit has known this. Amrit was definitely nervous, but Nicholas was really surprised. I don't think Nicholas knew that he was going to propose at all. We remember it was just maybe like a couple of days before he met with Amrit's mom and he was like, how can I motivate him to, take that next step? So I think Nicholas really didn't think that was going to happen. So I love how they did this though, because, sometimes in these gay relationships, these gender roles and I love the fact that first Amrit proposed to him and then Nicholas proposed to him. But you know what I would have done? And you could tell my future husband. I would have, when he proposed to me, then I would have gotten on my knee and we both would have been on bended knee proposing to each other. Because I'm like, you know what? Meet me where I am. Meet me where I am. And this is how our relationship will go going forward. That's just my thought. Okay. Yes, Nicole, Kempire Auntie. Hey, W. I see. Don't forget, guys, you can watch our lives on multiple platforms, including our Facebook, The Kempire on Facebook, Kempire Daily on Facebook, and on Twitch and Twitter at TheKempire. What's going on, Dominique? Appreciate you being here. And I appreciate you joining our membership as well. As I said to you before, it's not a requirement, but there will be some really exclusive perks, and we will be doing exclusive live chats with just our team members. So, and I try to keep the cost as low as possible. Okay, so they finally get engaged. As I said to you before, I didn't expect to start tearing up, but I did. Okay, I admit it. I teared up because I saw Nicholas's face and I knew he really was surprised, and I was happy for him. So congratulations to Amrit and Nicholas. But I know why you're here. You want to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, so let's get into that. We're almost at 100 likes. Let's get to 100 likes. I'll drop the StreamYard link so you guys can call in. If you are a Royal Court member, you already received that link in the community tab on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Okay? That was a perk that y'all didn't even know you were going to get. Okay? Kenya said that part when he proposed, I had a little tear. Me too. It didn't come all the way out. It wasn't like bawling. It wasn't bawling, but it trickled. It trickled a little bit. Okay. I loved it though. Okay. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and how much it gave me life. I watched the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills twice. because I have to do homework. You know, and mind you, both times that I watched it, it's not like I'm watching it and really enjoying television. I'm watching it, but I'm also taking notes. I'm watching it to see if I missed anything. I have to probably watch it a third time to really enjoy it. But overall, I'm enjoying The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills this season. And it could be because they have multiple housewives, but it's good this season. And it's not just because of Erika Jayne and everything that's going on in her life. Yes, it's a nice component, but I find myself not that interested in what's going on in her scenes. Yes, I want to kind of hear and look at body language and understand what's going on with Erika Girardi. But that's not the best part. The best parts for me, the fight between Crystal and Sutton. I know you guys are tired of the violation and what that means fight. I'm not. Nope. I love it. And shout out to Crystal Minkoff. And shout out to all of the women that just joined these different cities, especially the Black women, especially the Asian women, especially the women of color, however you identify. I know it's not easy. A lot of people really give it to them, and I don't think people understand that just when you're being critical of these women, there are other people out there being just as critical and just as mean-spirited to them in their DMs, tagging them. I mean, I've seen it. Crystal Minkoff, she posted someone saying that threatening her life. And I had a different perspective watching Crystal this episode. And when Crystal was going at Sutton, I was happy for Crystal. And I know a lot of people do not like Crystal. I've seen it in the comments. And I'm not saying that I love Crystal myself, but I already told you guys, you're either going to love Crystal or you're going to hate Crystal. Crystal's great for the show. Crystal is great for the show. I like that she owns who she is. I do want to see another side of Crystal besides this fighting with her and Sutton. And she said that, you know, the first part of the season, she was still trying to find her way. But I like Crystal. And I like that she stood up for herself. And I like that she called out Sutton in her white fragility. We've seen it already. And you know what? I think I probably would have had Sutton's back. And I like Sutton. I was happy that Sutton got a diamond. But the moment in Lake Tahoe when Sutton tried to shut down Crystal when she was trying to talk about her experience, I was done with Sutton and her white fragility. That's where it began. And everyone running to Sutton's side. Oh, what's going on? Are you okay? Whoa. One or two of you could have went over there. She didn't need a gang of you because it worked. That's exactly what Sutton wanted in that moment. That's exactly what Sutton wanted in that moment. We can go over the, violation and what does she mean and the non-apology. Yeah, all of that is relevant. But with that being said, Sutton, and you know what? Danielle was there because it happened on a live. I had the same experience. I probably would have had a different, and this is why it's important when we're talking about, you know, the minority experience and how it varies unless you've had the experience. Because a lot of people were calling out Garcelle for talking about, you know, getting upset and making it a race thing when she was talking about what Kyle did. I've never had that experience in regards to tipping or donation. Garcelle has. So when that happened, it triggered her. So if I didn't have the experience where somebody was showing off their white fragility for the public arena, I probably would have a different experience and a different thought on this particular matter. But when I see it now, I'm like, all right, Sutton. See you. And I like Sutton. Look, I like Sutton. And I think she's great for the show. I liked her daughter's a Taurus, May 4th. Shout out to Porter. I like Sutton. I think she is a good housewife. And I like the fight between her and Crystal. Because what else would we be talking about? Lisa Rinna in her bathrobe? Lisa Rinna, why are you hosting in a bathrobe? Anyone else notice that? Lisa Rinna, why are you in a bathrobe? I know you're at home, but you're hosting your guests. Like, where's the class? Lisa Rinna's backyard is beautiful, though. That's one thing I have to give them. Their backyard is gorgeous. What else did I have to say about that fight? Sutton apologizes for insulting Crystal's pleather pants. She says that Crystal's presence triggered her, but the whole look, Crystal's not innocent. Her, calling her manic, calling her crazy, those kinds of things. It was a bit much. It was a bit much. But I like the fact that she calls Sutton out. She's like, I'm not going to apologize for you violating my space. You violated her space. And it is what it is. Look, it is what it is. Hold on, y'all. Let me just take care of some stuff behind the scenes. Okay. There we go. Shout out to everyone in chat. I am so sorry. I'm not even reading everyone's. Yes, in a bathrobe. What the hell was that about? Hold on, y'all. Wait a second. You know what? I probably need to create like an exclusive crown emoji for you guys to use. I'm going to work on that this weekend. I'm going to do a crown emoji where it's just a crown. But back to this. Hold on. Amber says, oh, hold on, Amber. I missed out your comment. Amber says, the first 5 minutes felt exactly like what the Victoria's Secret Karen story from earlier this week, and Sutton needs to heighten her awareness. If you guys have not seen that video, I was like, Danielle was there. Danielle, you in the chat. Danielle was there. Literally the same experience happened to me in 2021. Happened to me. The white fragility on display. Oh, what do you mean? Just saying. Anyways, guys. We're already at 100 likes. Did Sutton just dislike the video, y'all? Let me drop the call-in link so you guys can call in and share your thoughts. We are talking about Family Karma and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills as well. Shout out to all of our team members. You guys already received the StreamYard link. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Put that there. Not paid by anyone, aka Miriam says, I don't like her white fragility side. Me either, and I like Sutton. I generally like Sutton. I even liked meeting her daughter. And I think the only reason why Sutton got a diamond, partially because of her storyline this season, but also because now her kids are old enough to be like, Dad, I can be on the show if I want to. Her daughter's of age. And her daughter really is her, looks just like her, except with brown hair. And Sutton, I really do like her, very Southern demure side. But of course, that can get annoying, as we can see. But before we get there, hold on. Before we even leave Lisa Rinna's house, one of the things I thought was hilarious, because Garcelle said, we need to put on our big girl panties. And Kathy Hilton said, not the high-waisted panties. Kathy Hilton, when she just breezes through and gives us a moment like that, or when she was howling with the dogs, or with the dog, or when she speaks in code. This episode, if you follow me on my TikTok at TheKempire, you probably know that we reported that at one point, 3 of the ladies, Kathy, Dorit, and Kyle all caught COVID. So everyone had to end up quarantining. So we get to see that during the season, which I thought was interesting. Okay. So that segues into the news of, of course, this Erika Girardi situation comes out more and more during this time. Next week, we get to see, though, that there is some conversation about Tom cheating. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get to Erika in just a second. Before we get to Erika and what all of that's about, I just want to make sure we cover all the other areas. I know that's all. Yeah, no, I'm just making sure I can hold on. I have to say, though, I've said it multiple times that Lisa Rinna does not have a storyline, but this episode, she didn't annoy me. I liked seeing Lisa Rinna, and it reminded me that Lisa Rinna is a part of, she really was, someone that we knew in regards to celebrity. And her, the throwback pictures of her in Versace and this and that. I was like, and mind you, where she's keeping it. I'm going to need her to do better. I'm going to need her to do better in regards to, keeping that all together. But again, she's using her daughters for a storyline. We're not really getting much of a storyline from Lisa. But I don't mind it because there's so many women in this franchise, in this particular city, that I'm like, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. All right, let me take some calls. I see a bunch of people already backstage. What's going on, Danielle?
Hey there. I was there. I saw with my own 2 eyes. I'm your hands-on, spot-on witness. I was there. I witnessed.
For the white fragility.
For the white fragility. I witnessed it. I was right there. I'm the one that actually pointed out to you because you hadn't caught it.
Yep. It's true.
In 2021, it still happens. So, okay, so let's talk on that. Not necessarily your experience, but let's talk about Sutton.
Yes, because my experience is done.
When Sutton does it to other white people, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't. Because it's like they're using their own stuff on them. So it's like, it's kind of funny to see.
And they all fell for it.
They did. You see how they all gathered around? But the thing that makes you laugh is Crystal's smirk as she puts her hands in her pockets and walks towards you. Crystal knew what she was doing, and it was hilarious. So I'm on the fence with Crystal versus Sutton because I like both of them.
Me too.
Last season, I kind of thought I was falling in love with Sutton, but I feel like she needed to go see the botch doctor. There's something not right with her shape. There's something missing.
Yeah. Something in that midsection, but she's an older woman at this point.
We're gonna blame it on, but she comes with the fashion, so I give it to her. I like her. I like her Southern hospitality ways, and her daughter was adorable. Looks just like her.
Right.
I want to see the other kids. I wonder if she's going to bring them on the show.
I mean, I hope so. There are a lot of things to like about Sutton. She really is what we like in when it comes to the standards of being a Real Housewife. You know what I mean? The money, the lifestyle, the crazy. No, I mean, I use the word crazy because, she's very sensitive about the kookiness.
But she's not married.
Okay. She was, though.
But think about it. For a while, Beverly Hills was giving us wives. And now they're not.
I'm okay with it, though, because they still have wives on there.
Okay. I just want it to be, I don't want the non-wives to outweigh the wives. I don't want it to get to that space. I don't.
Like in New York. And then we're hearing there's a lot of news coming out of New York, but
New York doesn't have a wife at all, do they?
No.
So I love Dorinda, so I always gave Dorinda a pass because she was a widow. But
damn.
Yeah, everyone else. Okay, so let's go back to Beverly Hills. I need everyone to get your high brief panties and pull them up, and let's be adults. Because Kathy Hilton told us to, because there's that. And what Kathy says goes.
She comes out of nowhere, and you're like, I did not expect that, but I needed it. Thank you.
We didn't expect it, but let me take a sip of water. Yes. But we absolutely love it.
Danielle's making fun of me. What did you think, though, about first of all, the wreaths that were sitting on Kathy's table with all the little baby dolls?
Weird.
But it's Kathy.
It is Kathy.
Like, what is she doing that for? She's doing that for fun. She's giving those away. She's not selling those.
Well, you know what it reminded me of? I think she might be real close with like Candy Spellman because it looks like something Candy Spellman might have made in her gift wrapping room. Remember that?
Candy of the Spellman, dynasty.
Dynasty, yes. So
it's not Spellman, Spelling. See, you got me all mixed up.
I'm talking about the HBCU. Sorry, guys. Candy Spelling. So, but when I saw that, that's exactly what it made me think of. It made me think of Candy Spelling because I'm like, I'm sure they probably rubbed elbows together, but it seems like that's something she would have too with those little weird looking doll babies.
Lay says, I'm sure she's close to Candy too. I'm sure
of it. And Crystal kind of told us that. She told us that certain people in Hollywood, they just know each other. And if you're a Hilton and a Spelling, trust and believe you know each other.
And you've been one for a long time?
Mm-hmm. They both married good, honey.
That's my hope. Faith said allegedly. What's alleged, Faith?
Everything we just said is fact, honey.
Oh, Lord. Let me bring up some familiar face. Hey, Lonnie.
Lonnie!
Hi! I'm finally home when you are on. I was like, yes!
and I pushed it back a little bit because we've been doing a little bit earlier, but let me push it back a little bit.
I love it. So I'm still probably one of the only people that thinks that Sutton was just originally triggered, not by Crystal, she was triggered because she did not get a gift and she was jealous that Crystal gave Garcelle a bomb gift.
Yeah.
Like, that's what really set her off. And then
Lonnie,
just,
speaking of that, there was a comment that I saw that Garcelle posted. It was a gift that Sutton had given to someone else. I forgot who it was. It was another housewife. And then Garcelle commented, "I still haven't received my gift." I was like, but she did like a laughing emoji. And I was like, is that true?
She was serious with that laughing emoji. She meant that was a joke that she meant.
Yeah. That was a jokey joke.
But why wouldn't they're closed? So I'm shocked that she wouldn't have gotten her or something.
I know. Well, what is she gonna give her a gift at the reunion? Like, here's your gift, kind of, like Rena gave.
But it'll be fabulous.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. But that's really what set her off, and then she made it into this whole thing. And I have to say, like, Crystal is kind of like gangster. I kind of like her a lot. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, I said what I said. That kind of girl. And I was just like, that's my kind of girl, because I am that kind of girl. So, I like Crystal because she was just like, I said what I said, but I'm sorry I called you like ticky ticky boom boom in the head, and move on. But that was not the reason. And I'm surprised that no one like we could point it out, but no one else could point that out, that Sutton was like, can you hear me?
Oh no, we hear you, but we said that like week, Booby. You missed that.
I think I'm just surprised that no one else like pointed that out or knew that she was salty because she didn't have a gift. But yeah, we noticed it immediately.
Oh, you mean like the other housewives didn't call her?
Yeah, the other housewives didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Maybe it comes out later. Maybe.
But I'm like, one thing I will say lastly, with Erika, like when she said that she gave Tom a hug and he didn't hug her back, if you look at her eyes, like you saw, like she was sad, so sad behind her eyes. Like her eyes were like very telling when she said that.
Yeah, you believed it.
I did.
Act.
I do. Like her eyes were just like, she just looked sad and numb and hurt, like every emotion, like when she said that.
I'm looking at it.
She was in the confessional with her red suit. She said, I went to hug Tom and he didn't hug me back.
I'm gonna need you to watch that part again. Just pay attention.
It was the confession. She wasn't talking to Kyle. She was in her confessional with her red suit, and that's where she said it. Look at her eyes.
Right. So she was giving us Joan Crawford with the suit. I just want you to go back. I want you to go back and watch it one more time. I think you missed it because I don't think she gave any AFs.
Wait, let me bring up what's going on, Miriam. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. Hi. Oh my God. Listen, I'm right there with you with Crystal. Sutton lost me when she did when she was shutting her down. That triggered me, you know. And we need to understand, Crystal, doesn't matter how much money she has, she's still a woman of color. And her experience is not the same. It doesn't matter how many NBA players are stopped in their cars because they're Black. So we have to be cognizant of that. And I agree with her. She violated her by entering there. But if it was someone else that she was kikiing and she was having fun all along, that wouldn't be a violation. But because she shut her down and the experience from there on went south, this is why you are not supposed to be in my vicinity, given the way you were treating me, you know?
Or saying when you're exiting the room, I don't know what you're doing over there.
Yeah,
that would probably triggered me too. Like, what do you mean?
And Kyle, I can't believe I'm gonna give her credit here because I don't like her, but I'm a fair person. At least she redeemed herself in the confessional by saying that Sutton, she actually looks like she is irrational, which she is. But then again, if she was irrational, why all of you went to baby her? That was horrible. I felt like it was so passive aggressive bullying Crystal. They were all in it. They went all on, like, Crystal did nothing that day.
Yeah.
And Sutton is very much part of her giving gifts. She started boiling the minute she saw that Crystal, Kyle, and I think Dorit, they all pitched in one gift, and she didn't bring a gift.
Yeah.
For her, that was the mortal sin. She couldn't even look Crystal's way.
I think I would have felt the same way, though. I think I would have been mortified, like, oh my God, I forgot to bring a gift.
Yeah, but would you take on someone else like she did?
You're honest enough to say you forgot and apologize, and like, I'll catch up with you later with a gift. Yes, you are. Stop it.
Yeah, exactly. So she took it on Crystal. Why? Like, Crystal did nothing to you. She did what she was supposed to do. She brought Garcelle a gift, which I'm shocked given how Garcelle and Sutton are close. She didn't bring her the gift. I would think she would bring the whole band that Kenya had in that march.
I think she really forgot. Faith, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, love your channel. Love you for loving us. Danielle. Okay, so there were some other. Kyle had a very small storyline in this particular episode, but it's a real storyline for a lot of children. And I know you have a child as well during the pandemic. And Kyle was saying she feels like she's failing as a mother because she sees that Portia is not, expressing, I want to be out, but I can't be out. I want to be around my marriage. No, she's concerned that Portia is okay with it.
I have the same problem.
So yes, I feel like us as parents, we all went through the same problem. And I still have the same problem where my kid doesn't care whether she's engaging or not, because she has spent the last year and a half in front of a computer screen and engaging with her friends. Luckily, the teachers were nice enough to keep Skype open for them to engage, like, after class and stuff. But my kid is like, oh, I don't care. I can get on FaceTime. I don't want to do this. So as a parent, now that things are opening back up, you kind of get over it. You roll with the horses and you force the kid to do what it is they need to do. Go out and be social, which is what I have my kid doing. So where I understood where Kyle was coming from, and I'm usually team Kyle, but on this one, I was like, girl, shut up. You're reaching. Just like, you're not the only one going through this. Your child is not the only child suffering. So why are you trying to make, oh, woe is me, I'm such a bad parent? Oh my gosh. It was cringing watching it. I didn't like it at all. And I love me some Kyle.
I didn't
Miriam,
like it.
You said that you had a similar experience. How so?
Same experience. My kids are so okay being home. And my daughters, they didn't want to go back to school. We had a big argument, and I'm calling it argument as an understatement. When things were getting safer, and I chose the option to go back partially to school, and then they were accusing me that I'm putting them in harm's way. So I had to step back. I said, listen, I'm not going to make you go to school if you don't feel like it, but I like to have the option. What if you change your mind? So everything Kyle said, like the long nails, changing the hair, this is happening here. I didn't cry to anyone about it because I didn't have anybody to open up. But sometimes I cried on my own. I felt like I'm failing because I'm working. I don't have time to wake them up. And during the weekends, my kids, they don't wake up before 1 or 2 p.m.
Woo!
Yes.
I mean, that's normal for teenagers, I would think, right? I mean, I was never that teenager. I'm an early bird.
Neither. Ooh, you kidding me? My mom? No.
Lonnie, were you that type of teenager? Did you sleep till like 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
No.
Lonnie, what was your reaction to Kyle and her being very upset about how Portia was handling the pandemic?
I mean, she's a kid, and mind you, Portia's getting older. You know what I mean? She's probably hitting that preteen area. Kids are going to do what they're going to do. But I don't think it was her being like a bad mom, or anything like that. I mean, kids are going to be kids. Like, just let her be a kid and do whatever. She's at home, and then once things go back to normal, she'll go back to normal. You know what I mean? But I mean, I wasn't one that like slept in all the time. But then again, it's like, what are kids to do? What is she supposed to do? She can't go out anywhere. She can't see her friends. I'm sure she spends time with Kyle, but does she want to be with Kyle up under her like all day? No.
You know, one thing that I thought about it when Kyle was describing it, I was just like, well, Kyle, maybe she's just one of those people that's okay with being at home. You know, I was one of those people during the pandemic that I was like, I could do this for another year. But not everyone's like that. I know. But I do like the option of being able to travel. That's the one thing that was killing me, is not being able to travel. But I was also okay with being at home. And it also reminded me how important it is for everyone to make their home an actual home and not a place where you just sleep.
I think to your point right there, it might be the thing of Portia is okay with being a homebody, and obviously Kyle is not that person. I think you might have hit the nail on the head with that. But she was complaining about the nails. Yeah, I ordered my kid nails from Amazon because Amazon was delivering every day, and it gave them something to do. Like, had we been in a normal world with my 11-year-old kid, we walking around with Lee press-on nails? No, but at this point, who cares? We're in the house. She has nothing else to do but be girly. Go play in my makeup, put on my clothes, have fun. Just be a kid.
Yeah.
I know, but I understand why she was feeling helpless. It's because she knows there's nothing else for her to do. She's letting her do what she's doing, but then it's not an active lifestyle. My son, he could have went to school. His high school is small throughout the pandemic, but he opted to stay home. And there was no outbreak in his school because it's very small. And they have a lot of PPE because it's geared towards medicine. So it stayed open, his high school, not the township one. So my kids, they chose to stay home. And that killed me because I didn't see them walking. I didn't see them playing ball. And, you know, and you want them to be active. So I understand that. And I loved Kathy, how she reeled Kyle in, say, well, you're not alone. And, you know, that was a nice moment, but it shouldn't be the end of the world. But, you know, this is Kyle we're talking about.
Danielle, okay, so we're going to get to the heart of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If you're just joining us, we're recapping Family Karma and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and everything that transpired last night. Don't forget to like this video. We have over 200-something people watching. And if you're watching the replay, let me know your thoughts on Family Karma's episode last night and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Did you believe Erika Girardi's tears? Danielle, did you believe them?
I wanted to, but I couldn't.
Damn.
She's not a very good actress. Oh gosh. I wanted to believe them, but because she's such an ice queen and because of who she's shown us before, how strategic she is, no, I didn't believe him. Sorry, no. Oh, look at that. No. I mean, and here's why I feel like she is not believable. And I recognize that everybody handles things differently. So you're going through a divorce, like one of the viewers put in the comments earlier, she's watching her money fly away. But you still look like the glam came over and got you prepared for these cameras. Like I want to see her look bad and not just with watery mascara.
We have seen her look bad. Remember at the gas station?
At the gas station, really? No. I want to see her look bad on the show.
Yeah.
Give me the gas station on the show. When it was actually happening, give me that. Give me and then no. I think the only thing and I love me some Erika Jane. I have loved her since the day she came on this show. Really? But I have. I'm a fan of Erika, and because it's the ice queen, I like the icy side of her. So, but I did not believe anything. I didn't. And I don't think she has, like how last episode she was talking about how she's doing okay for herself. She has the shoe thing. I don't think anyone's buying the shoes. The whole fabulous, whatever that shoe company is, no one buys that stuff. At least I don't know anybody that does. She claims to have a New York Times bestseller. Lala Anthony had a New York Times bestseller. No one bought that book. So like, I think anybody can pay to be on New York Times. Even Evelyn's book came from Basketball Wives was New York Times bestseller. Like, so I just, Erika. Yeah, no, sorry.
Well, in this episode, Erika talks about her relationship with Tom. And as I said before, next week, we're going to hear about those cheating rumors. But in this particular episode, we are getting more and more about the widows, the orphans, the victims of Tom Girardi. And here's one of the things I have to say in regards to this entire situation. Erika probably knew something. Did she know every single thing? I don't believe that. But I do feel that she's getting the brunt of everything that I think Tom should be getting.
Absolutely.
I don't think people are getting on Tom enough, but Tom is not on social media. You know what I mean? Tom is not on a television show, but Tom is the one allegedly that was behind all of this mess. Did she know? Did she reap the benefits? Yes and yes. On some level, she knew. And she even, Kyle sort of threw her under the bus in her confessional was saying, I think, I don't remember the exact things that Kyle said, but she pretty much alluded that she decided to get divorced because she saw what was happening.
Here's the other thing we know. She's Erika Girardi, Erika Jane. When was she ever wear non-waterproof mascara? That's how we know this was a setup. She did this on purpose.
Well, not even just that. Look, not even just that, but I'll bring this up. Not even just this particular scene. Remember, she brought up a lot of little things, including her relationship with Tom, how it was changing. But there was something else that she mentioned about Tom. And she said that she noticed that he was forgetting things, that he wasn't hearing her so well. And I was like, that seems very convenient for you to be bringing up during this episode. It seemed very convenient. Anyone else feel like that, Miriam?
Oh, yes. Well, I feel like I wish we had the timestamp of that scene, because she just gave away the plan, the master plan, that she would hint that he has health issues. Mm-hmm. And then in real life, conservatorship, he has Alzheimer's, dementia, I don't know what. There you have it. So she is giving away the plan. She is part of the plan. Am I saying that she went and she stole the money? No. But in the best case scenario, the most credit I can give Erika is that she knew the lawsuits were coming. And if it wasn't for the lawsuits, she wouldn't have divorced this man, because he's close to death. Okay? And when you're a gold digger, we all know that he's not older. I'm using that. I love referring to others' sayings. But my point is, I love a crossover as well. Just like for me, it's not believable when someone like Contessa, she wanted to stay home, then she went out. And Dr. Wendy Osefo, she was all about the brains. Now she's all about the vanity. Erika, the same thing. We've been seeing her for 10 years, vouching for this man. He's the best thing after sliced bread. He is the supportive. He supports her dreams. He supports everything. All of a sudden now, he is this abusive, dismissive, cheating husband. Now what's going to come next episode? She's going to hint to his affairs, which came out in that screen from the Motorola thing.
She also said that he resented her success.
There you go. You know what? She was always his biggest cheerleader. We remember when she used to meet him for lunch, only brief lunch, to have like a scene with him. She is completely 180. And this is why we can't believe her. It's not only because she's not a good actress. The math is not mathing. Your home got conveniently robbed. I wouldn't be surprised if the security system was supplied by Terry's husband. Where is the cheval? And the things that she had laying around the house are typical of people who launder money. They just buy these lavish things, expensive things, because they never lose value. And this is where the money is. So conveniently, she was going to divorce, take her piece, which was going to be huge. And this way, at least the paintings and the properties would be, they thought, would be protected. But you know what? It's out there. True, you said that she's taking the brunt of it, because, yeah, he's a smart like a fox. He's completely unliable just because of his health issues.
Neurocognitive disorder.
But it's very telling that she is part of the lawsuit, because we heard today Emily D. Baker on Up and Adam. She broke it down. Now she is liable. So anything that she's going to make or anything that she has is up for grabs. So they will be looking into her financials. How is she paying her glam squad? How is she paying this exquisite rental? Cry me a river. You're crying because you're driving a Range Rover and you have a pool in your backyard.
I mean, okay, I understand where she's coming from, because I just realized in the Real Housewives of Potomac, so is Robin Dixon. And if Robin Dixon is driving a Land Rover or a Range Rover, and I am too, and I'm in Beverly Hills, these are bad times. Lonnie, what are your thoughts on this whole Erika Girardi situation?
So maybe I'll be the one that gives, like, I don't know, a different twist or a different lens.
And that's why we have you guys here.
So when I get everyone's like, how can she not know she has this or whatever? And he's been a bigger supporter. But a lot of times when you are in a marriage, a lot of things are not always what it is. So, I mean, and I think a lot of people know that. So, yeah, like, was he her biggest supporter? You know, yeah. But I think as she's gotten bigger with the show and with her other things, you know, I can possibly see that maybe he was just like, I'm Tom Girardi. He is a star in his own right. Like, let's not, I mean, look up his legacy, folks. I mean, and she was always supposed to be the housewife who was quiet in the background. So I think with her success, like, yes, he was a supporter, but at the same time, it's just like, I think he saw like, okay, pump your brakes a little bit. Because remember, you're supposed to still be the pretty housewife who's supposed to just be on my arm, and that's your main role.
That makes sense to me, because we learned in the Housewife and the Hustler that he's 5'5", and you know I always talk about the Napoleon complex.
Yeah.
And that's probably what he's been doing his entire life, is, you know, trying to make up for that height difference in every way possible by gaining power.
I have a question.
Exactly. And so I think he had that. And then, I mean, yeah, like, I'm sure like things were like very well and dandy out in the public eye, and she went to bat for him. But again, like, sometimes you just don't know how people are behind closed doors and what really are the cracks. And having like this amazing marriage now on television and in front of people and things like that. So there can be a lot of things, and a lot of things that she's saying may be true. Like, people just did not really know what was really going down behind closed doors, because in any marriage, a lot of people confront and be like this happy-go-lucky, people envy them, but behind closed doors, it can be a completely different story. And in that situation, like, some of the things that she's saying, like, it may be true. A lot of things that was happening behind closed doors when the cameras were gone, it was not all cherries and roses.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would she have filed for divorce if it wasn't for the lawsuits coming up?
That's a good question.
Yes, I agree 100,000% with everything Lonnie is saying. But in Erika's case, it's very convenient a time that she had enough. She knew about these lawsuits because they already had lawsuits coming up. She gave away that she knew about one. She tried to inquire him and he shut it down. So she knew something was coming up. So my question for you guys is, do you think she would have filed for divorce if it wasn't for his legal issues?
I agree.
That's a very good question. I'm gonna pose this because I see we have a couple people backstage. I'm gonna bring up Obi. Obi, what do you think about Miriam's question in regards? Do you think Erika Girardi would have filed for divorce if there wasn't these legal battles looming?
Honestly, I don't think she would have.
Yeah,
that's my. So do you know one thing? Like, I wasn't really following this story very closely, to be honest. Like, in the beginning time when it came out, like, I was actually following it like just few days prior to when Beverly Hills premiered.
Okay.
So I was always looking at Erika with this benefit of doubt, because I mean, I still think, even as a man myself who is married, I still think that there are some things that could be going on financially that your spouse will probably not know about. But in her own case, I felt like if she hadn't done this episode, to be honest, I just felt like it just painted her in it. Like, me watching this episode, it was so obvious to me that this was all staged. Everything she was saying, it sounded like it was staged. It sounded like they planned it right from the beginning, because everything was like, she was literally just saying everything in accordance, especially when she brought up like how he has dementia and how he's not hearing well. And that was just so like on the point.
Yeah.
I feel like it was definitely planned. She probably didn't know, like maybe like widows were involved, and but she knew that there was something dubious going on. Because if she knew about like the Housewives and the Hustler story, I don't think she would have been flaunting it the way she did on the show. So that's my perspective. I really think it was planned, staged. I don't think she would have filed for divorce if not for the stories that she already knew was going to come out. That's how it looks to me.
Danielle, what are your response to Miriam's question? Do you think that she would have gotten this divorce if all this craziness wasn't happening legally?
No, I don't. I say that because, and it was either on the episode, it was somewhere we saw her say that she got served with papers last summer.
Yeah. Yes. Well, was it last summer or was it 2 years ago?
Well, she just mentioned on this previous episode she was served with something else 2 years ago, and he was like, "Oh, don't worry about it, stupid." But she mentioned before she got served with something last summer, and and maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Maybe it took her from that summertime serving to the November time frame to get her affairs in order for her to walk away. I don't know. I think that's reasonable. But I really, and maybe that final serving last summer was a straw that broke the camel's back. Mm-hmm. But I think that she would not have left. I think she probably saw the fire getting hotter. And it was like, okay, it's my time to get out of this. But I think if it was still all hunky-dory, she would have stayed and just lived it because she was living her best life. I mean, come on, she pulled an Anna Nicole for the most part. She was in it to, like Garcelle said, she was in it to, and like she said, I was going to stay with this man until the day he died. Not to the day I died.
She said she was going to hold his hand till the day he died.
But not to the day I die. Not we die together, recognizing that he's 30 years older than her. So she put Anna Nicole. She knew what she was doing.
Lonnie, what would be your response to Miriam's question?
I think obviously when she started getting served and started researching and finding out what was going on, I agree with Danielle. She probably was just like, let me get my affairs in order because this is like something that obviously he's not telling me all. And I agree with Garcelle. A lot of times husbands do things that you just don't know. You're really kind of left in the dark with a lot of the stuff. And, when she started getting lawsuits and everything, and she probably consulted with her own attorney, which I don't even know how she found an attorney in LA, because if they know you're Tom Girardi's wife, they don't want to touch that, things like that. They're just like, no, don't want to have that case. So, but I'm sure she found her own attorney and they kind of researched it as far as what was going on. And who knows, she probably got other notices or things like that in the mail. I mean, we don't know. It may be servings that went to Tom or in the mail that maybe she opened. I'm sure she saw a trail of things and she's like, I'm going to write a checklist of everything I need to do and then I'm going to bounce.
Obi, you said you have a question? Oh, Obi, you're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to get you guys' perspective about this. So this is probably not related to yesterday's episode, but so when Erika found out about everything, when the news broke out, let me just put it like that. I feel like a normal person's reaction, my reaction would have been that even if I didn't know before, now I know, and now I know about these victims, I will probably be trying to make things right. I'll be trying to probably sell off my property and make some money and give as much as I can give and start over. So, I just don't understand why Erika, I don't know why she's reacting to it this way. Do you guys think this is who she is? She just doesn't give a shit about that? Or do you think it's something that her legal team is probably advising her not to do because it's going to backfire?
Well, originally when this all broke out, I was like, why didn't she just sell off everything? I would not want this money. But then I have to I had put my brain on and was like, okay, no, maybe her legal team is like, before you start giving away everything, let's see how much we can retain for you and how much you're going to pay us. once we're done with this entire legal battle. You don't want to give everything away because she's still going to have bills. She still has to live. So I get why she probably hasn't given everything away, but her not mentioning the victims or being remorseful about the victims, I don't know if she's ever released a statement being remorseful.
Yeah.
I think that might be it. Miriam, you had thoughts?
Yeah. One thing is okay. Her lawyers are advising her to do that, which I'm totally against this advice because I feel like being a public figure, which she is, she's a housewife. We don't know her personally, but we see her on the show, right? In order to save her image, she would need to, show compassion. But she's not showing. She's doubling down in all her posts. The way she was going around and the captions that she had, either on her T-shirts or in the post when she was still working for Rihanna. Like, come on. I feel like this is who she is. She is entitled. She thinks she's untouchable, and she's listening to the wrong people. Erika, if you're going to start over, you're not going to start over and you need to go back to the go-go club. You don't, because we know you. If you do what's right, if you show compassion, then you write a memoir. And everybody loves to give second chances. And then she sells a book. She will really be a bestseller author. Everybody will want to read it. Mark my words, I don't think she's coming to read the reunion. And she will do a special with Andy. I think yes, that's we saw that happen with not actually with Teresa, because she said her goodbyes before going to jail, but in Erika's case, because her case is complicated and Tom was powerful, a lot of cards will fall with him falling, because a lot of people looked away when they shouldn't, especially when it's money from the victims that should be held in escrow and not go somewhere else and then come to, and give bits and pieces for the victims. And that's what he was doing. He was kind of like running a Ponzi scheme. The lawsuits. Allegedly.
Team members, drop your allegedly emojis in the chat.
Allegedly,
okay, Elena, I'm going to bring you up. Hey, Elena.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you? What are your thoughts on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
Well, I like Erika. I have always liked Erika since she first appeared on the show. But if you think about it, they showed old pictures of when Erika initially got with Tom. She looked homely, like, and he did not want someone looking like that on his arm. He made her.
Oh.
He made her.
Oh.
Now, he didn't like what she did with it. Now, he may have at that point, may have resented her success. But you also have to understand, a man with that much money and power, he's not going to allow his wife to see and know everything he's doing. That's just not going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen.
I agree with you. I mean, when people say that she knew, I think she knew some things, but the depth of it when it comes to the legal cases and the amount of cases on what he was doing with the money, I definitely don't think she knew that.
I don't think she knew that he was taking money from victims.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Because he did have a successful law firm. A movie was made about him. So yes, that's where his money was coming from. Why would she think anything else?
Yeah.
Why would she think he's stealing money from victims? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I saw the documentary and I should have turned it off as soon as I saw Danielle Staub.
That's the first scene.
I should have immediately turned it off from that point on.
But overall, it was very good, the documentary, besides that part.
That and the other woman who was also on the Beverly Housewives of Beverly Hills talking about these sunglasses are $25,000. I'm like, yeah, I should have turned it off then. Yeah,
but she had real tea though. She knew about this divorce before it actually happened.
That's true. But
we love Dana.
But still,
I love Dana with her $25,000 glasses on.
Yeah. Please be very specific about we.
So, but I think that she didn't know the depths of what was going on. Did she probably know about the lawsuits? Yeah. And she probably said, you know what? I don't know exactly what all of this is about. And now I'm getting served with papers that I don't know anything about. And it's time for me to get myself together
Yeah.
and decide what I'm going to do, and it's time for me to go and separate myself. Now, would she have probably filed without the lawsuits? Probably not. But that's not to say she would not have dug and found out about his extramarital affair, because that judge put it on Twitter.
Wait, so you believe it?
Thank you for the boobs. I mean, I don't see why. It could be a lie. Let's put it that way. It could be a lie.
You saw those text messages. They look like from 1992.
And I'm like, I mean, I don't know. It could be a lie. It could be staged. It could be totally staged to make it, with everything that was going on. Yeah, it could be staged.
Yeah.
But I just feel like he married her. She looked homely. And he said, I can't have someone like this on my arm, so I need to do a full makeover. He did. She took it and made herself completely over with a career. And he was like, no, I just wanted someone on my arm and to be at home when I got there. And she's done something totally different from what I wanted.
Did she, though? Because from what we heard, rumor has it that he would play her music videos at bar events. Bar association events. So he was proud of his pretty mess.
But you made it.
Oh,
you made it. You made it. How was she gonna fund that? How was she gonna fund that?
Someone brought up a really important fact, and I've emphasized, Erika's getting the brunt of what I think Tom Girardi should be getting. Yeah. But who else helped Tom do this? Did his partners in the firm know about this? I don't know that part of it. I need to ask Emily D. Baker about that. I highly doubt that he was the only one that knew about all of this. Miriam, what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts is that everybody knew what's going on, because for them to pass the bar exam, we know they are above the regular IQ. Okay.
Allegedly.
And allegedly. No, I think any lawyer to pass.
I know plenty of lawyers.
And I am 100% sure that they know, hey, how is he doing this? This money should go to the victims right away. Why is he retaining it? Why is he moving it to Erika's companies? Like, there was shady business. Everybody knew something. I'm not saying that they were, when you know something and you don't report, you become an accomplice by being silent. So don't be complicit. They were all complicit by being silent. And at the end of the day, I hope they all learn a lesson. When you see something wrong, speak on it, because it's going to come back at you and bite you like karma. Like karma is biting like Erika. I can't believe her crocodile tears at all, because if it wasn't for this, she would still be married to him. She would still be telling us the same lies that if we're going to believe her now, that he was the greatest husband on earth, and he was financially funding her. We all know that she wasn't in this marriage for love. And if he had side pieces, I would think she would have too, and he wouldn't have a problem with that. I don't think he would have, because he wasn't that much territorial over her when he's sharing her videos with people he works with. And her videos, she pats a lot of things. And she shows everything. So it's not like the typical housewife that wears like that pussy, like both thing in her and her dresses. Like, she's trying to portray that she's proper now. Yeah. She never was. She needs to, we are smarter than that. Nobody's going to buy this. I just wish she would be more empathetic to the victims and not be offensive. Okay, I know you need to make a living. Nobody's going to pay your bills, but you don't need to say, I give 0 Fs. Like, she had posted the stuff like that. I don't have a problem with her trying to be financially independent and going out for her life, but don't be dismissive of the victims. She doesn't need to do that.
Danielle, I want to round out this conversation. If you're just joining us, we have over 200 something people watching the video. Like this video, it's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And if you're not a part of our texting community, head on over to TheKempire.com and join our texting community for exclusives. And if you would like to join the YouTube membership program, where we have Team Kempire and of course our Royal Court with some really cool emojis and loyalty badges, head on over to teamkempire.com or hit the join button here on the channel. I want to round out this conversation. I'm going to start with Danielle. Last minute thoughts on Family Karma or the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. What are you looking forward to?
Okay, so really quick, I think you brought up a great point when you asked, did anyone else know? We know someone in finance had to know, because those checks came in. They didn't come directly to him. So someone at that law firm's accounting or finance department knew something for the money to get to him, because he's a lawyer. He's not an attorney. I mean, he's not an accountant, and he doesn't work in finance. So someone knew something. He is nowhere in the world he did that by himself. And as big as he is of a lawyer, he didn't work those cases by himself either. So someone had to see the documents and the paperwork. So someone else knows something, because I'm sure he had a paralegal doing all the paperwork and stuff for him, or an assistant. Someone knows something besides Erika. I don't think, to everyone's point, I don't think Erika knows that much, but she knew something. Rounding out, did we even talk about Family Karma?
We did. At the top of the show, you were late.
I'm sorry, I was at the pool. Anywho, I love the engagement on Family Karma. That moved my heart. I was so excited for them. That's the only part of that I remember, because everything else is kind of whack.
You don't have to say whack. It was sweet.
What, the engagement was very sweet. I did like
the show is sweet, but
the
engagement was a big part.
But as far as this episode, I do remember the Christmas trees and them, and the mother saying that she would turn the air conditioner on high so they could drink hot cocoa to make it feel like it was cold. I thought that was cute. I know people who have lived in Florida and they came to school up here and never saw snow before, so I think that's also cute. But back to Housewives. I think it's interesting that Erika is very accepting, or was very accepting, of Tom having extramarital affairs. And I want to see this conversation next week. That's what I'm looking forward to next week. I also thought about last night when I was watching the episode, I'm glad that we've gotten away, or hopefully we don't see any more Crystal versus Sutton. But I do want to still see more of Crystal's little smirk, because it's like she's plotting something in her head. So I do want to see more of that. I can't wait to see what Crystal gives us. And I think Miriam brought up a good point I think it was Miriam that said Sutton's going to come to the reunion with a huge gift. I'm sure it's going to be something special that she had Dolce & Gabbana make herself, because she feels so bad for not having a gift on time. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. And then I need everyone to show up next week with their boob high briefs on, like Kathy Hilton told us to.
Oh Lord. Danielle, thank you so much.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Lonnie, last minute thoughts on either Family Karma or the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
So as far as like who knew at his firm, because that is really what a lot of the federal, prosecutors are looking at it as firm. And if anyone has ever seen the Bernie Madoff movie with Robert De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer, his sons didn't even know. His brother didn't know. His wife didn't know. He had specific people on a different floor in a locked room that knew the dirty business. So it is possible that people around him, very close, and even partners, did not know, because partners, a lot of times they have their own cases that they're doing.
Yeah.
So he was like the Bernie Madoff a little bit, you know what I mean? But I think she found out something was just amiss when she got served legal papers. And as far as Crystal, like, I'm loving her. I can't wait to see more of her feistiness. And this is something that I just found out. I didn't know that they were half sisters, Kathy and Kyle.
Oh, yes.
I did not know that they were half sisters. They have the same mom, but different dads.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in the story, that's next week, and hearing about Tom's affairs. And if she allowed it, she probably was thinking this whole time, well, I'm the wife. You'll be dead soon. You'll be biting the bullet soon. So I'm I'll deal with it for a little bit because I'm doing my own thing. And who knows? Erica probably had her own little boy toy on the side. So let's not think about that plot twist.
I mean, those rumors have been out there.
You know, so it was just kind of like, Tom, you do your thing secretly, I'll do my thing secretly, and together I'll be that woman on your arm at lunch meetings. And that is maybe how they did their marriage, you know? So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but that's it.
Lonnie, thank you so much for calling in. Have a great evening.
See you guys.
Miriam, last minute thoughts?
Bird poop means good luck. Just to piggyback on
Family karma.
Family karma. That show all the time when it's on, my smile is here to hear, my cheekbones hurt. It's
funny.
happy. It's a sitcom, which is a real sitcom. That's what it is. They're, even when they fight, they make up just like in a sitcom. We would see Friends, they would fight, but then they would make up. This is magical. I hope that, it continues. And I'm glad this is one thing that diversity and inclusion saved, because I don't think they were going to have a season 2. I was hoping they would, but with all the, minority thing, this is something that, thank God, was rescued. As far as Crystal, I feel like she showed such a strength in standing up against everybody, even not disrespecting them or calling them names, because, she was there on her own. She stood her ground, and I love that about her. And when she said she's jealous, she didn't mean about the marriage. I'm 100% sure it was about the gifts, because we know Sutton loves to give gifts, and she wants to be the best gift giver ever, and she has been till now in the Housewives. So I hope she lets it go. She becomes Elsa and stop, because she's looking bad. And I think she's going to redeem herself when she starts questioning Erika. I'm looking forward to that. Ooh. I am. Because when and I hope that then someone says something, because Erika, she was being served. Like when you get the mail, like I don't know what my ex-husband did as a computer engineer. I don't understand that, but I understand the mail, and I would bring the mail home, and I know what is the bill and what is, like when he was trying to apply for a home equity line that I didn't want to sign. You know those things. And when you're served a lawsuit, that should keep you up at night. So you know what? I just wish she wasn't as insensitive as she is, and I believe that's truly who she is. She doesn't give a damn about them. It's all about her. She is another face of white fragility. She is crying a river about herself, not necessarily that the victims, they're minority, but it's all about herself. She's very entitled, and she's the one suffering. She's the one suffering, even in the way that she's living right now. She doesn't know or she knew what hardship is, and she forgot, it seems. But, it's going to be a rude awakening.
Hardship, she's living in that rental that she said is very, I know it's small, and I'm driving a Range Rover.
I would die to live in that rental.
I know, I love her rental. Her rental is very cute. God. I love it. But it's
gorgeous.
Small.
So she needs to go back to her waterproof mascara, because what's her name? Box, the girl. I hope I get her name right. She made the great remark. She said, Camille Grammer on Twitter, she said,
yes, I forgot to post that. Hold on.
We went to swimming and she wore waterproof makeup.
Look, I have to post that because I thought
you have it there. Oh, that's great.
I have it right here. Hold on. Let me just pull this up so you guys could. I couldn't remember what I wanted to share again, and because I had literally saw it before the live. But Camille, and this is why I don't understand why they don't give Camille her props. Like, we need Camille on the show. So this is what Camille posted on her social media. We filmed in the Bahamas season 9, and we were all swimming in the water. I don't remember seeing Erika Jane's mascara running after swimming underwater. Just saying.
Her braid didn't fall
but take a look at Lisa Renna's comment. Oh, someone needs some attention. Okay, sweetie. Hashtag you're still an asshole on Twitter. Oh, leave her alone, Lisa.
There is nothing asshole about what she said. She said facts. She not only had a makeup, waterproof makeup, she had that long braid that stayed attached to her hair when she went swimming. So that proves like how she knows how her glam team works. That was totally intentional.
Either intentional or her glam team, she doesn't have them anymore, and so she can't afford, Anyways,
I think
Miriam,
they're part of money.
Miriam, thank you so much for calling in. Appreciate you. Obi, last minute thoughts on anything that we talked about this evening.
So I'm just so tired of violated gates. I just feel like we have to move on from that. And I'm kind of disappointed in Sutton because like it's obvious. Like when she came in, Kathy mentioned something. She said Pippin Tom. And I think somebody prompted her to say it. At that point, I thought Sutton was actually going to fire back because I felt like that's kind of what started it all. And it was very obvious that is when Krista was giving her gift that she felt some kind of way, and it was just all gaslighting, And it's just kind of obvious like what the reason is. So I kind of like just want Sutton to move on, and let's move on from violated gates. That's all I have to say about that. And then with Erika, I feel like her being a housewife was a good platform for her to really use to her advantage. But honestly, I don't think she's using it very well. If anything, it's kind of exposing her more. That's what I think. Because she could have totally turned this around in so many ways to her advantage. She's not playing smart. So that's all I'm going to say.
Obi, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you. Elena, last minute thoughts on this? Oh, you're muted. Hold on. There we go. There you go.
I love Family Karma. Love the show since the first time it came on. I just wish the non-Dr. Monica and the guy Brian would hook up and get together. That's what I wish.
Oh,
that's what
I'm sure Dr. Monica doesn't wish that.
Get over it.
Oh,
I like the other one. Sorry. That's what I wish. And I can't wait to see the gay wedding. That's going to be.
Not the gay.
I cannot wait.
It just be the wedding.
It's going to be the wedding. I can't wait to see that one. Love the show. But to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Sutton has been a trip since that first dinner when they went away together and she was not part of the joke and she always thought it was all about her. And I'm like, girl, you need to get over this. You need to stop all that crying. It's got to go. And Crystal, I love her. I love that she can get on Sutton's nerves and just poke her. I love it. I just absolutely love it.
Me too.
But Sutton is getting ready to poke the bear in Erika. And you don't need to do that.
Yeah. Okay?
Don't do that. As far as Erika's situation goes, it's like I said, she knew something was up. I don't think she knew the full details of everything. Mm-hmm. But I just find it hard to believe that Tom Girardi's law firm didn't have a check and balances when it came to people taking money out of their client's account. It's just hard for me to see that. Why didn't you have a check and balances there? And, but yeah, I love Erika. I'm hoping I'm wrong and she didn't know the full depth of everything.
Yeah.
But I don't think she did, but she knew something was up. I just don't think she knew the full story of what was up.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for Sutton to try to say, because I'm in the South. I grew up in the South as well. And if Sutton comes back and say bless your heart, it's on.
Oh,
it's on. It's on. Anybody from the South and you say that, it's on.
Alana, thank you so much for calling in. Guys, I had so much fun having this conversation with you. As you know, every Thursday here on the channel, and on our Facebook and on our Twitch and our TikTok and on our Twitter, we are recapping the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and, of course, one of our other favorite shows, Family Karma. Thank you all for everyone that sent in a super chat, everyone that called in, and everyone that was a part of the conversation in the chat. I see you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the love. Shout out to our new Team Kempire members here on the YouTube membership program and to our royal court. There are really a lot of really cool benefits. We even updated the crowns. So shout out to all of our team members. I love seeing the crowns in the chat, but I also love when you guys drop some crowns in the chat. So before we go, drop those crowns in the chat. And if you haven't liked this video, like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. More information is here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and more. Posted a couple of Erika Girardi stories already this week. And of course, some new information coming out in regards to Safari and Erica Mena's relationship. He's seeking criminal charges against her, possibly. Check out that video. And shout out to everyone that, as I said before, that was a part of the conversation here. Love seeing your crowns in the chat. Those that are watching the replay, let me see your crowns in the comment section and your thoughts on Family Karma. Were you moved by Amrit and Nicholas's engagement? And I want to know if you believed Erika Girardi in The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and some of your favorite moments from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And if you're enjoying this season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, that's a lot to say. I appreciate you all being here. Have a fantastic evening. Again, I will be back tomorrow to do a BET Presents the Encore recap. So again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. We had breaking news last night. Y'all think I'm joking when I say when we have breaking news. We had breaking news last night. You don't want to miss that. Check out that video. Real Housewives of Atlanta casting news. Updates. Marlo might have a peach. Portia's considering not coming back. Check out those details. Again, thank you to everyone that called in. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to everyone that called in. Shout out to everyone that sent in a super chat. Appreciate you all supporting the channel. And I appreciate the drama that the celebrities bring, so we're able to have a channel to talk about it. Have a great evening, guys. I will see you guys hopefully not till tomorrow. I need to take a nap. It's been a long day.